I can't believe I'm saying this. Kyrie Irving was right. The Brooklyn Nets do need another star to win a championship. Actually, I do still think Kyrie was foolish for gossiping with the media, but I now see Kyrie Irving is the Nets' real GM. Just in case you forgot, a few months ago, Kyrie said,
"You're not in our locker room, stay the fuck out." It's as simple as that.
No, not that. He said, quote, "Collectively, I feel like we have great pieces, but it's pretty glaring. We need one more piece or two more pieces that will complement myself, Kevin Durant, DeAndre Jordan, Garrett Temple, Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, and we'll see how that evolves." Okay, so that's one thing, but this is how we know Kyrie and Kevin Durant are the real GMs and not this guy, Sean Marks, on New York radio.
Kai and Kevin and the rest of the guys that have all signed on here and are part of this, you know, they hope to build this and hope to build this something sustainable and something that not only they can be proud of, but this is long-lasting for the borough. So, you know, I always take a select handful of players' opinions in terms of, you know, how we continue to build this. We've done this from day one, gathered their thoughts, and because these guys know the players better than anybody else. So when we're saying, hey, look, this is what we're looking at, what do you think? They'll be brutally honest because they've got to go play with those guys.
Translation? I'm going to listen to what Kyrie and KD want and make those moves this offseason. And you know what? Good. That is exactly what the Nets should do if they want to be NBA champions. The Nets may not even get out of the East next year, even with Kyrie and KD back. And I think there's only one star out there who might be available that would put the Nets over the top, and that's Bradley Beal. If the Nets trade for Bradley Beal, they will instantly be favorites to win the NBA championship next year. It won't be easy. They'll have to give up something major to get him. In this video, I'll explain why Beal is the perfect third star for the Nets and what it'll take to get him. Hey guys, it's Casey Kiernan, host of the AM Hoops YouTube channel. Hit subscribe if you don't already. We're coming out with 5 quality NBA videos Monday through Friday, always dropping at 6 Eastern. Also dropping every Friday morning is the AM Hoops podcast. Go check that out wherever you listen to podcasts. Hit me up on Twitter at Casey Kiernan and say what's up on IG at AM Hoops. I'm hearing a lot lately about the Nets being favorites next year just because KD and Kyrie are healthy. Those people are wrong. The Nets would be lucky to get out of the Eastern Conference. The East is tough. Just look at it. There's a real chance the Bucks sign Giannis Antetokounmpo to the Supermax. The Celtics are improving with Jason Tatum's emergence. The Raptors continue to be better than expected. If the Sixers can get their crap together, they can rule the conference. Even with Kyrie and a healthy Kevin Durant, the Nets are not close to a favorite next year. Actually, Kevin Durant is going to get a huge wake-up call next season. He's not going to look like himself for a while. In fact, I think we may never see the best-in-the-world version of KD ever again. It takes players in their mid-20s, a year and a half on the court to get back to normal. Paul George, horrific leg injury, took him about 15 months of NBA games. Gordon Hayward is just now looking like himself. Kind of. Kristaps Porzingis is showing flashes now. He was injured over 2 years ago. And again, this guy does not look like me. What are you thinking? Those guys were all in their mid-20s. KD is 31 years old. He will not be the KD we remember when he comes back next season. My point is, the East is not the cakewalk that it was when LeBron James was there, going to finals after finals. It is competitive at the top, and to get through it, the Nets need a third star. And when you look around the league, Bradley Beal is the star that makes the most sense for the Nets. Number one, he fits on their team. They've got a formidable front court with Kevin Durant and Jarrett Allen. They've got a great guard in Kyrie Irving, who likes the ball in his hands. Bradley Beal is a two-guard who doesn't need to dominate the ball to be at an all-star level. And make no mistake, dude's an all-star, even if he wasn't named this year. Since the all-star snub on January 30th, he's averaging about 35 points per game, 2 steals, 5 assists, shooting 40% from downtown. If you can't see how that guy plus Kyrie and KD are instant title favorites, that's your problem. And number 2, Bradley Beal's available. Yeah, the Wizards signed him to that extension, but that doesn't mean they're not going to trade him. They had no choice but to sign him. Letting him reach free agency would have been a huge L for the Wizards. ESPN reported execs, quote, don't expect Beal to be available this offseason, but they'd be stupid not to listen to offers. Bradley Beal's trade value will never be higher than this summer. And just go down the list of All-NBA or All-Star players. All-NBA, a list of star players who are either unavailable, a bad fit, or not enough. All-Stars, not available, a bad fit, or not enough. Bradley Beal, though, checks all of the boxes. He is the perfect star for the Brooklyn Nets, and this is how they could get him. The Washington Wizards get Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, and 3 first-round picks. Phillies in 2020 and the Nets in 2021 and 23, and the Nets get Bradley Beal. The reason this works salary-wise is because LeVert's extension will kick in this offseason. He'll make around $16 million. That plus Dinwiddie's 11.4 matches Beal's 28.7 just about. I know that sounds like a lot of picks to give up, but really it's not. The Wizards will not trade Bradley Beal for anything less. DC says they want to see what Beal and a healthy John Wall look like together again. I don't know why, but they say they want to see it. And recent trades say it takes a lot of picks to get a deal like this done. The Paul George trade included 5 first-round picks. The Anthony Davis trade included 3 first-rounders, one of them the number 4 overall. The reason just 3 picks might get it done here for Bradley Beal is because of the caliber of player they're giving up in Karis LeVert. Yeah, he's had injuries, but LeVert will be a special player. In early March, he dropped a career-high 51 points on the road in Boston. It hurts to move LeVert, no doubt, and yes, Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie were 2 guys that Kyrie Irving mentioned in his locker room rant, but they'll have to give up players they don't want to get an all-star, win-now type player like Bradley Beal, who's just 26 years old. The Wizards would take Dinwiddie. He's shown that he can be a very capable backup point guard, and DC could use him to ease John Wall back onto the court, or they could move him for players who are a better fit. Actually, the more I talk about it, 3 first-round picks may not be enough to get Bradley Beal, and if that's the case, the Nets should give up whatever, like 4 first-round picks and a pick swap if they have to. Some Nets fans will go, oh my goodness, there's life after Kyrie and KD. No, there's not. What is the point of making the 6th seed 4 years from now? Just ask the Raptors. Do you think they would rather play it safe? Because, well, you know, Kawhi Leonard, man, he could have walked after that 1 year, or go all in and have a banner. Of course they would take the ring. The future does not matter. It doesn't. Teams like the Rockets and Clippers have mortgaged their future for a shot at a title. In the West, those teams would love to be the Nets, sell the farm, and be in the East. I know it's a lot to give up for the Nets, but they should do it to win a title, and bottom line, Kyrie and KD want them to. I know Sean Marks is a smart, savvy GM. He comes from the San Antonio Spurs, but it's pretty clear the Nets are not going to be the Spurs North. This front office takes their orders from the stars, not the other way around. We already talked about Kyrie being the GM. Here's even more evidence. In January, Karis LeVert came back from an injury, and the Nets sat him in overtime against the Thunder, and the Nets lost. Okay, makes sense. You want to protect a guy coming back from an injury who's injury prone. You know who else is injury prone? Kyrie Irving. He was coming off that long injury. Kyrie played 37 minutes at Philly on the second night of a back-to-back after playing 30 plus the night before. The rules are different for star players in the NBA and especially in Brooklyn. What the Stars say carries a ton of weight in Bed-Stuy. I think they will definitely make a big splash trade this offseason, and it has to be Bradley Beal if they want to win a title. You may not like that way of doing business, but they already made that choice when they recruited Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant to their team. And actually, I don't think it's the best way to run a franchise. But I do think you take Kyrie and KD every single time that you can, so I don't blame Sean Marks for being in this position. And Sean Marks knows this. You don't get many chances to win an NBA championship. These windows are very rare and they are very short. The Nets window is right now. They should do everything they can to trade for Bradley Beal and be a true contender. Again, even if it's 4 picks and a pick swap, they have to do it. And after all, this is why Sean Marks, Kyrie, and KD went to Brooklyn to begin with, to go all in. I think if they do go all in and trade some talented young players and their future to get Bradley Beal, they will win the title in 2021. Support AM Hoops and click subscribe. Don't miss a daily NBA video.